Hi everybody, this is Catherine V. Holmes, author and illustrator of How to Draw Cool Stuff, and today we are going to talk about shading shapes. Specifically, we are going to shade in a circle to create a sphere and shade in a cone so it looks three-dimensional. So we're going to be using some really good art words today like blending, shading, shadow, shade, and value. Before we get started with this particular project, I'd like you to try and do a quick value scale. Just make a rectangle with about 5 squares in it and then number them 1 through 5. Inside these blank rectangles, what we are going to do is create a value scale or a grayscale with different shades inside. Number 1 is going to be white, and number 5 we're going to press as hard as we can with our pencil. And in between, we're going to gradually go from white to black. It should look something like this when you're done. As you can see, number 1 is left white. Number 2, we've pressed a little bit harder with the pencil to get a light gray. Number 3 is a medium gray. Number 4 is a dark gray. And then black is pressing as hard as you can with your pencil without actually breaking the tip. It's all about control of the pencil. There are actually thousands of different shades between black and white. This is only a grayscale with 5 shades on it. So we're simplifying things a little bit. So first we'll start off with the round shading, drawing a circle, and then we will turn it into a sphere. A circle is a two-dimensional flat object, whereas a sphere is a three-dimensional shaded object with form. So I'm just really light sketching of a circle. If you have a circle you can trace, that's even better. I'm just freehanding this one, nice and sketchy and light. Next, I've added a little small circle within the circle off to the side. This is going to indicate where there is a highlight. So if we have a light source, let's pretend this is a light right here, or the sunshine, and the light is beaming down in that area. This is going to be lighter than the rest of the item. The next step is to lightly shade another circle around that small circle. As we have our highlight here, it starts to get darker as the exact light source goes further around this spherical shape. So it starts to get a little darker from this point on. After that, we'll make another ring of darkness, slightly darker. Perhaps this could be number 3 on our value scale, maybe even a little lighter. And just lightly scribble it in. We're going to do a little smudging later, tiny bit with our finger. So I've made another ring, just a little bit darker around that last one, and then finally we'll go darker still around that ring to fill in the rest. There is going to be a little bit of a highlight in this area, which I'll use my eraser to erase afterwards. That'll be some reflected light, which is basically light bouncing off of the surface that the sphere is supposedly sitting on. But we'll get all this stuff down first, and then we'll use our cheapy eraser here to do a little bit of highlighting after the fact. I need to make this a little bit darker, and then we can start smudging. We've got it a little bit darker now, and you can definitely see the marks where I have started to shade one shade and then made it a little bit darker. We don't want it to be that obvious. So if you want to cheat, well, not even cheat, smudge it up just a little bit. Blend these colors in together. If you do it too much, it'll look like mud, and we don't want to do that. So I'm just going to smudge it up a little bit. I'm actually on the verge of doing a little too much, so I'm going to stop on the middle part and just get this edge a tiny bit, just to blend it. I'll take my eraser. I want this to stay somewhat white and light, so I'm going to erase a little highlight here. And then remember that reflected light we talked about? I'm going to put a little bit here, a little bit of a shadow next to it, just to make it stand out. And remember, we're just using a regular number 2 pencil here. Any pencil that says HB or 2HB or just their number 2 is your regular standard all-purpose pencil. There's art pencils out there that have soft graphite, hard graphite, and there's all different levels of darkness or lightness or hardness that those pencils can create. This is meant to be done just with a regular old pencil. You can have success with this regular old pencil. And computer paper, and that is all you need, regular eraser. So I am darkening this part that is away from the light, and also I want to toss in a little bit of a shadow here, just to reinforce the fact that yes, the light is coming from this direction, and the shadow is in this direction. Just a little bit. That's all personal preference, how dark you want to make it. Mine's not going to be super, super dark. But I do want to darken up this edge a little bit, just so my reflected light stands out that much more. Darken up this a little bit. And you can keep tweaking it for hours and hours, but I'm going to stop right there because I think this is a good spot to stop at. But you can get some really decent results with this whole shading with a value scale. If you have that value scale next to and you're looking at it, just so you can see what tones and hues you're using when you're doing your artwork, it definitely helps. So that is a sphere. I'm going to quickly show you the cone, and that'll be it for today. Okay, so for the cone, I'm just going to take these directly out of the book so I can show you the step-by-step illustrations that are indicated in there. This is step number 1. Give me an upside down T. Step number 3 has the center line of that triangle extended a little bit beyond the actual triangle, and notice the tiny hatch mark at the very bottom of that line and then slightly up into the triangle. That's going to indicate where the base of your cone will be. And there it is, the base of your cone, drawn with the indicator of an oval. Step 5, I want you to give me some little sections, one white section in the very middle, and then a couple slivers of darker sections surrounding that. As you can see, we've got the 1 in the middle, and then we've got a 3 on either side, then a 4, and then a 2. So it's going to be a gradual shading when we actually blend it all together. Remember, just a little bit of smudging with the finger. Last but not least is step 6, which is your blend. You want to rub very, very lightly with your finger to get that beautiful, beautiful blend. So all of your colors just run into one another gradually. Gradually is the key. Thanks for checking out how to draw cool stuff, and if you have any ideas of drawings that you would like to see, please drop me a line. Bye for now.